الشباب هو النفيس إذا زانت بالوعي النفوس ومن يك لاعبا بشبابه لا يفد وإنه الرجل التعيس ومن يك ذا شباب دون وعي فأهنأ عيشة منه الحبيس وإن لهؤلاء بذاك علما وما لا علم فيه هو الخسيس نظرت فما
Okay. Hello everyone. Hello dear audience, Mr. and sisters, brothers and sisters, Mr. and students. Especially for our Honorable Director of Koki Islamic Entity, named Dr. Ahmad Mukhtar Lo. So we are going to give our greeting to someone who always try to help us and never give up to take us from dust. Means Mr. Ndao, you are welcome and a big thankful for you. So today, as you notice that you are going to follow us in these cultural days. In these cultural days since the beginning until now. Since the beginning until now, just we have just hand down in English eloquences, which has begun profusely with 7 members, but they all keep down except 3 members. If God willing, they will come here one by one to present their topic. Okay, Mr., you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Dear students, dear teachers, I'm so glad to be here. Now, I heard Usman Jai said that Mr. Ndao deserves thanks. I just tell you no. Mr. Ndao doesn't deserve any thanks. It's the student who deserves thanks. It's the student who are English lovers. It's the student who are Mr. Ndao lovers. So, I thank you all. Now, as far as the competition is concerned, I mean fluency, which is eloquence. Now, we'll test this criteria. Now, first, we'll test what we call relevancy. Relevancy means the contents, mean your jobs, what you present to us. So this is what we call relevancy, which means la pertinence. And next, of course, audibility, the audibility. Now, when we talk about audibility, means that how you pronounce is your voice. Your voice must be heard by the audience. Everybody, even those who are behind, must hear your voice. So voice count. This is what we call audibility. And last but not least, it is fluency. So fluency means, yes, eloquence. How you pronounce, and this is pronunciation. So I just want to give the criteria of this competition. Now for the jury, I'm going to give it to my friend, Mr. Chan, who is a teacher here, will be the jury of this competition.
Hello for everybody. It's with gladness you are seeing me in front of you, dealing in a topic very important. Name it. What do you think about the strikes? And I say, the legendary South Africa's President of Republic, Nelson Mandela, has said, education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world. Referring to it, it can be said that education is the first stone in the development of its nation. So it plays a primordial role and has to be appreciated. However, this sector is unfortunately neglected and it's suffering from carelessness and many difficulties that can destroy its performance, such as lack of assistance, voluminous programs, and also the strikes noticed nowadays. These years, the Senegalese education system has been disturbing by many strikes organized by teachers whose claim from the authorities is to find a way to increase their salaries, admitting that theirs are insufficient to solve their daily expenses. Strikes are making our education system in a crying shame. They have considered as a real threat against our young people's success, and they disallow them the opportunity to study correctly and regularly. That's among the reasons why education of students of today have no longer the level they had before. The strikes dangers remain countless. They have a very negative effect in our education system, despite being a right accorded to the laborers and a way to fight for their rights. This phenomenon is the main cause of the postponement of the exams.
Hello, men and women, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, dear brothers and sisters. Hello, dear teachers and guides. Hello, dear schoolmates, especially my classmates and my comrades. Hello, dear audience and listeners. As you know, this is Neymaget, a student in Koki High School. So, today I am very, very glad to be here in front of you as a humble student to share with you about strike in Senegalese education systems, which is nowadays topical. Dear audience, dear listeners, do you know what are the main reasons for this strike? No, I don't think so. To begin with, I would like to tell you that our educational systems facing lots of problems. First of all, students are no longer going to school as usual. Teachers are no longer also giving full-time classes as usual. Besides, many students are no longer motivated to keep on their studies. Many of them are dropping out or stopping learning. Last but not least, studies levels are getting lower and lower. This because the teachers ongoing strike. But for what reason? All this strike for what reason? So, it is right for teachers to go on strike to not teachers. Yes. Is their teachers' condition aren't anymore harmony? Isn't? If their teachers' condition aren't anymore good? Yes. If they receive very bad salaries? Yes, also. If our educational systems isn't in harmony? I think our educational systems isn't in harmony. I think also they have the right. All these teachers, they have the right. But they must bear in mind, all these teachers, they must bear in mind that all this strike always adds problems in Senegalese education systems. Most of all, they affect students to drop their studies because of conditions strike. They impact on the students' levels at school. They also lead to failure in exam and hopeless. The most harmful is all this strike can produce a disliking between who? Between the government and teachers. So, for putting end these problems, it is very, very, very important for both government.
Hello, dear Director elhadjibarafalilou. Hello, dear teachers. Hello, dear students and dear guests. First of all, my warm greetings to the public, leaders and gentlemen. Dear guests, I'm very happy and very glad to participate in these activities. Dear guests, today we are coming here to talk about in the strike Senegalese education system. Okay. The education is one of the most powerful aspects of life, and it is the passport to the future and for tomorrow. But nowadays, we see that this education is too neglected and it's not respected. This is what provokes the teachers' strikes, which can also have many consequences in the country's education system. We will first go to talk about the causes of this drama. Secondly, we saw some negative impacts. And finally, we try to bring few solutions. Firstly, Senegal's education has gotten worse because the government has failed to respect teachers' rights. In addition, the strikes are also caused by the elevation of teachers' salaries, improvement the condition of teacher work, in no respect of the agreement by the government. In fact, the strike has a major setback on the growth of the economy, in investment opportunities. It's also responsible for decrease in the level of students and the increase in the repetition of classes. Moreover, on the one hand, many students also give up school. In a nutshell, in my point of view, to solve this problem, as long as the state first considers not the students who study in schools, as well as it's our children, in increase teachers' salaries, because we cannot really pay them, the country's education will become harder and harder. Finally, like Nelson Mandela said, the education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And education is stronger than anything. So, let's fight for our future and let's fight for our education. Thank you very much. And let's live English.
Good. So, thank you once again. Good evening to everyone, each and everyone. We're so happy to be back again to what we call the cultural activities. Now let's wish a warm welcome to our Dean, Mr. Mo. Normally you should be here in the Presidium because you are the Dean of the Deans, okay? So thank you for coming. Now let's come back to the nitty-gritty. Now we had 3 performances today. So we have heard their voices and they are all relevant. So they dealt with a topical issue that is the educational system, and to be more precise, what you call the strikes. So it was really relevant. So I heard some, what you call some pledges coming from the voice of the voiceless. And the voice of the voiceless today, they are the kids, they are the students. And maybe the government will hear your voice and will solve the problem once for all. So thank you for having pledged it for us, okay? For mining also what you call the educational system. Now for the 3 performances that we have just heard today, so we base on 3 criteria. So the first one is fluency, as you said. The second is audibility, and the last one is relevancy. And for the now first of all, for the written parts, so it has, the copies have been graded by Ms. Sandao. And the first was Mohammed, 18. For the written, as I said, we grade the paper. They might get 16, and Suleiman Jallo, 14. But what we have heard today, what I mean that the vocal is important. The rhythm is also important. You have noticed that, Mohammed, your voice is not audible. You are like a marabu. I don't know. I'm sorry. Talking about the marabu, okay? So you have to raise up your voice. That's so important. When you talk to people, you have to raise your voice. Because this is a claim. The words should be live. You should talk, okay? It should be something that is strong. But don't think that you are just lazy, you're doing like that, okay, you cross your hand. That's not good. Okay? For the audibility, you have 8. Now for the relevancy, you have 10 because the topic is relevant and the content is good. Now for the fluency, you have 10. Now for the overall, you have 28, Mohammed. And then the voice was audible. It was clear. You have a good voice, okay? And the content was also good. But sometimes you have a problem of pronunciation. Instead of say teachers, you say teachers, okay? There are some mistakes that you have to avoid. That's why you have 7 over there. So the overall you have 27. Suleiman Jallo, the content you have 7. The voice is audible, you have 9. And the relevancy you have 10. So the best copies today is, or the best performance is first Mohammed, 28, and the next one we have Ndeyma get 27. So thank you for your attention.
yéen a ngi seetaan Daaraykoki TV kon nag gaaw leen gaaw abonné te activer cloche bi ngir man di jot lépp lu aju ci daara ji. Daaraykoki TV, la chaîne au service du Saint Coran.